Folks, what's going on? Welcome back to another week. If you are new here, how you doing? My name's Chris and I'm building a business that suits my lifestyle. And this is my warehouse. We've been building this warehouse out over the last 4 or 5 weeks. It's been a crazy journey to get here. If you've just joined, if you're one of the new 250 subscribers that have joined over the last couple of weeks, we have been building to this position for the last 5 years. It's taken a lot of ups and downs to get here, but finally this is all happening. And I basically document this journey to bring you along to see how I'm doing, how I'm building my business, which is going to look very different to how you're going to build yours. But that's okay. The purpose of this is to give you some inspiration, to show you the decisions I'm making, why I'm doing it, and just really to document it for my own purposes, to keep myself accountable, but hopefully inspire others to aspire further in their own lives. So if you enjoy these videos, please make sure you hit like, subscribe, and jump down in the comments below, and feel free to ask a question or leave a comment or whatever it may be. Oh, it's been a pretty good weekend. The weekend was good. We had the market. I just want to say a big shout out to a whole bunch of different people. Bo, we had you pop around. Thank you so much for popping in, mate. Really do appreciate it. We also had Ray. He popped in as well. And then there was another Ray as well, actually. There's multiple Rays that I know now. And really appreciate the banter, hanging out. And I also had my best mate drop in as well with his partner. So thank you. It does mean the world to me. That actually was the highlight of my day. At the market. The market wasn't too crazy. I think we only did about 55 bucks, but we did try a different model, but it was just a really good, fulfilling day. So I'm very happy with that. We bought all the market stuff back here on, it would have been Saturday after we finished up, and got a few things done here as well. So that's that. What is happening today? Today we've got to do pick, pack and post. We've got about 55 orders. It's probably about 70 items. Give or take, there's a few multi-quantity there. But the purpose for this week, the plan for this week, the goal for this week, it's been so many things happening, is coming off last week, I was a bit frustrated because we still haven't gotten to where I want to be. This still has a few little bits and bobs that needs to be fixed. Just a couple of screw issues. So that should be resolved today. But aside from that, the goal for this week is we need to get all of this sorted. I've already started it last week, so there's probably about maybe 650, 700 pieces remain in there. So that's all going to get done over there this week because I've got another big deal coming next week. All of these workbenches I need to get set up and fully operational. So I'm going to get the casters on these this week as well. I've got to do a little bit of shuffling here this morning just so I can get into operation mode, and then hopefully sort all this as well. And that would be the key focus. So we've got probably 3 key areas: the clothing, the workbenches, and then this. That's the 3 main areas. And of course, by having the pallet racking set up, that means we'll be able to move some of this stuff as well. So they're the 3 key goals for this week. And if we can get that happening, then hopefully we can start to have a pretty good run at seeing how all these processes are going to work. Once that's done, then we need to set up workstation or photo station number 2 for my my second photographer, and they are actually back this week as well. So it's going to be, we're almost back at full capacity. We did have a very solid week last week. We ended up doing 8,500 or 8,800 roughly there somewhere, which is really, really rewarding because we've been working very hard. We had quite a few low weeks there for a bit, but we're starting to get back on track. For me, first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to get quickly set up. I'm going to shuffle a few things in here so I've got space to be able to execute once I finish the postage. We've got plenty of electronics to photo and list today, and there is a box of remotes that I want to get through today as well, which I'm not sure where it is now. Again, if you've got questions along the way, please ask. More than happy to. There's timestamps down below. It's going to be a big week. Let's get into it. All right, just getting all this set up. I just want to give a shout out to Profit First Reseller. I think his name's Joe. I apologize. We actually haven't chatted by first name basis. But I've been watching his videos, and he's got some, I love his approach and just some of his thinking. I can relate to it, and we've got some similar things that we like. And he recommended the Hoto electronic screwdriver and the cordless screwdriver, and I'm going to be setting this up today to go through all these laptops. So I just want to say a big shout out, mate. Thank you. This thing looks pretty neat. I'm going to get it on charge now and hopefully use that a little bit later today. So the plan right now is I'm not trying to get any of this set up fully because I've got to put all the casters on these this week. I think that's happening tomorrow. So I really just want to make sure that I can just work today. And then once we get the casters, I can actually start to deck these out to make them into the fully operational workbenches that I want them to be. I think it's going to be kind of like electronics, and then this, or whatever this will, or whether it's this one or that one or that, or in between. The idea is that this one will be non-clothing, all this will be non-clothing, but more electronics. That's the aim there anyway. So I'm going to quickly just get this set up, put a few things on charge, and then we'll probably get into a pick, pack and post. The other thing that I need to do is, it's the 17th of March. It's actually 7, by the way. It's 7 a.m, like 7:15. I dropped Carla off at the station this morning, come straight here. The other thing that I do on the 17th of each month is that's when my new, my Amex period starts. So I have basically made all of my regular fixed expenses that have to occur on a regular basis land on the 17th or afterwards. So I've got my Australia Post credit invoice that I have to pay. I've got all my consignments that I start to pay out. I've got other little expenses that I wait until the 17th. The reason why I do that is because it helps just with like terms and cash flow, because I won't have to pay that now till the 10th of May if I spend that between the 17th to the 16th of April. So that's just the way I operate. Works for me, doesn't work for everyone. All right, let's get this cracking. All right, this is a bit better of a setup now. So over here we'll be testing this little DS this morning as well. But we've got all the laptops that we're going to be doing. The idea with the laptops is there's a bunch here that we went through last week, if you didn't see that. Basically, I went through, comped them, worked out what's going to be worth it for my time versus the ones that I'm just going to depart and keep out some of the electronics out of it, which I just basically accumulate over a long period of time and then it just goes to scrap. But some of these won't be worth selling. Some of them will be. So I think there was only about 5 or 6 that we will get the stuff out of it. All the others, all we got to do is just basically take the hard drive out and sell as is, untested, for parts only. Most people come through, do lowball offers if they're buying multiple. Like if someone sees there's 5 laptops that they want, they'll buy $20 each and they'll pay postage, which I'm happy with because it just gets rid of it. Whereas if people are buying individually, usually the ASP is around $40, $60. Because I'm not testing them, like turning them on, reformatting them and all that. You know, we're not really getting high dollars. Ideally, that's what I would like to do. But for time's sake, short-term wins, we'll just process them to get some quick cash back. The other thing that I've got today is a big tub of remotes. Now, the purpose of these is we usually sell these anywhere between 50 cents to $2 each. I'm just going to bundle them up, get them out, have some other business buy them. But on an ongoing basis, we will have more remotes as well. So that's the plan. I've got the screwdriver on charge. I'm going to go do a quick little bit of admin, pay some bills, etc., etc. Then we'll get into a pick, pack and post. All right, all the bills are paid. Just ridiculous. But it is what it is. It's the cost of building a business. So we've got a total of, you probably can't really see this. I do apologize for the squeak. 62 orders. That's in terms of total quantity. It's actually probably more than that because some people have purchased multiple items of the one item, but that's not many. So it's probably closer to 65. We actually had a pretty good run over the weekend. Like I said, we have done pretty well last week. So we're sitting on 86,389. So we are starting to creep back up. We did manage to get to 87 and a bit last night. And yeah, we've got the orders. We're going to go pick them. And in terms of what we're selling, we've got lots of jeans, shirts, shorts, jackets. We've got a skirt. We've got hoodies. We've got VHS. We've got lots of cameras. I'm going to take you through some of the cameras. There's some pretty cool stuff here. Phones, cameras, radios, laptops, MacBooks, Pokemon stuff, cameras, shoes, cameras, books, skirts, a lot of the same, but pretty good. All right, let's go for a bit of a pick, and then I'll show you what we've got. right, now it's time to pack them all. I still got to get out the cameras, but the cameras are in one big tub and I'll bring them out before we pack them. All right, I'm gonna do a little bit of a packing session now. I'm not gonna really try and get too much into detail of showing you what I'm doing. I'm just figured some people have been asking more of this, so maybe if things pop up, I can talk about it. But I don't like doing this, honestly, like while having you record while I'm doing this, is because I usually like to put on some music and just kind of bop around to it and get into my own kind of groove. But we'll do this for a little bit just as we get kicked off here. So the first two orders that are coming through is actually from one customer, repeat customer. They've purchased 2 pairs of jeans, which is really good. Really great to have more and more customers coming back. And actually, if I look and see my return customer base, we're actually sitting at, and I'll put up what I see on screen. So I'll put up on screen when I do the edit of this of what it is, so it might be slightly different for when you see it. But essentially our current repeat customer base this year versus last year, it's going to be way higher. Like we're sitting currently compared to last year, yeah, we've got 123 repeat buyers, which is about 115% on top. So really happy with that. Yeah, so this person's come back, purchased, I think they only purchased about a month ago, which is great. 2 pairs of jeans. Usually need to go into a large padded mailer just because it's just easier to do it. And yeah, it makes my life a little bit easier too, rather than using a box. Give them a little thank you card. That has a 20% promo on it as well. I've had a few people come back and use that, so that's been really great to put into the packages as well. Where is my tape? Yeah, so nice little first win. And for those, if you never watched me pack before, the way I do this is I do every item individually. So I've just packed that. Now I'm going to actually combine the order in Australia Post, and then I'm just going to print it out straight away and then slap it on, and then that's done. I've got my bag over here where I put everything in. This one's going to WA. It's going to be in a large padded mailer. Basically just do it on screen. Eventually I'm going to move to shipping software. The reason why I haven't moved to shipping software actually is because there was a few things of pulling the data that I had concerns with, and yeah, I just wasn't happy with it. But I think now at this point, and when I hire someone to take over doing the postage, it's going to make so much more sense to use software, because I want to have that as the main process. I don't want to hire someone and then change the process. It just doesn't make sense. So that's my thinking there. So I'll learn how to do that, what that looks like, and then I'll build a process or a SOP of how that will look as well. Just print it out, slap it on, and then we get it chucked into this bag right here. Boom. All right, what's next? I think he's just got a message from someone as well. All right. Next up is another purchase from one person, two items, two Ralph Lauren and a Wrangler Rancher 4801, and they've actually come back and they're a return buyer and they've used their 20% voucher, so even better. 6998. This one here. This will probably go into a small. It's great. I love it. So people are using and taking advantage of these additional coupons, and that's really one. If you're a return customer, you're going to get more discounts than anyone else, because I know that you're worth my time. There's a lot of customers that want to buy cheap, but they're not willing to come back, or they're not worth the cheapness. Like I'm happy to deal with customers and give them really good deals if they're genuinely good customers. I've got customers that purchase a lot of stuff. So I've had customers that purchase a lot of stuff and expect to have, wholesale pricing because it's their first order. I've got people that have tried to purchase 2 items saying, hey, look, I'm buying 2 items, give me 50% off. It's like, well, no, I'll give you 15% off. You come back, you keep buying, then we can talk about having some bigger deals, right? So understanding people's expectations and sense of entitlement, if there's a level of respect there, I'm going to give it to them. But they haven't necessarily created that respect yet. All right, this one's going to Tasmania. Someone just went in next door. Let's do this. I've actually got an order going to South Korea as well, which is pretty cool. Always happy to go international. I actually had a question. I'm actually talking to someone right now. Lani messaged me and she's been asking about how to do international postage. Long story short, if you do go watch other people's videos, there's some really good videos out there. Grumpy Granny has a good one. But for me in particular, because I sell a lot of the same stuff, I do my international postage purely by calculated weight. Because most of my stuff is between 500 grams to 800 grams if it's clothing. Like denim is about 888 including a box, etc, etc. And that way I never get myself in any trouble because of the different weight bandings and cost prices across the different regions in the world. But you just need to make sure you know what your weights are and your box sizes are too. And don't get fooled that the postage weight includes packaging. It's not just the items. So you need to know how much your boxes and things weigh as well. But because I've been doing enough reps, I've kind of memorized that. So it's usually not a bit of a problem for me. One thing I forgot to check was if there's any express postage. No express postage, okay. All right, you got the gist of it. I'm just gonna chat to this person and then we'll get back to it, and probably I'll just do a bit of a time lapse. All right, I have my third time lucky attempt to have this fixed. I'm pointing at the pallet racking. The guy's coming now, so I'm gonna probably just turn this off because he's gonna rock up in a minute, and we'll get back to this. I'll show you the cameras hopefully a little bit later, but it's gonna get real noisy, like crazy stuff. So anyway, you get the point. Anyway, we'll check in soon. All right, folks, some good news. That is now all done. I've taken the photos to prove the job has been done, and I'll get the sign hopefully this week, but I can start using that, which is great. Here's some of the cameras that have sold. This one is the big winner for this week, actually. This one is a Nikon D750, parts only, and it's gone for $367 to the US, including postage. So it was $300 plus 67 postage. Very happy with that. Nice little win on that one, and that's just body and frame only, untested. And the rest of these have all averaged between $30 to $60. Some person came through and purchased a whole bunch. This one went for $109 posted. So yeah, nice little win. These are the ones that I did last week. So that's how quickly they sold. They sold literally the same day I listed them, which was the Friday morning, I think it was. Or sorry, the Friday afternoon, and yeah, really boosting the sales. So I'm going to finish this off and then get into doing some other work. All right, folks, postage is all done. We're going to get cracking onto all of these remotes and then get onto the laptops. For the remotes, I'm going to quickly go through them and pull out any batteries. Not really going to go through in detail of checking them if they're working or anything. This is just going to be a bulk lot just to move it. But in the future, these would probably be then sold wholesale. But for now, I'm just going to quickly put them up on eBay and get them get some cash flow. And then we're going to move on to the laptops. So this is an idea of what's happening. So I've just pulled out the SSD from here. That way we cover all security. And then I take a photo of inside of this as well, put everything back together, take photos, and that's essentially it. All right, folks, done a whole bunch of laptops. I've also done a little test run over here of doing the pallet up onto the pallet racking, but I've got to actually step out now and go to my podiatrist appointment. But yeah, this is all good. I've still got to get the same size pallets before we can properly use it, but I'll be able to put some things up probably, if not later today, in the week. Podiatrist appointment, then I'll be back and we'll wrap it up for the day, but probably talk to you on the drive anyway. All right, we're a bit stuck in roadworks now, so I figured we'll have a little bit of a chat. I'm actually just feeling really like my cup is full. Like I'm just very happy. I mean, not that I wasn't happy before, but today, you know, just having some of those things that we're trying to achieve tick off and get us to where we want to be, it really just takes some of the headspace weight off. Not that it was stressing me out, but I just want to be able to execute. And I've just been doing like laptops for the last, hour or so, and it's just been great to be able to just get in there, make things happen. Now I know that all the stuff that we did today did not have anything to do with the laptops, but like getting the pallet racking done, all those different things. But just being able to have a workbench that I don't have to pack anything up, I don't have to move it. I've just stepped down, everything's all there. I can come back and just get straight back into it if I want to, etc., etc. It just makes me more at ease, and it helps me then focus on the next things that we can do. Whereas when I'm waiting around for things to happen, it's very hard to be able to focus on other things. And now that we're making some progress forwards, I feel like we can start to double down on things. So just wanted to share that. Very happy where things are at the moment. My biggest challenge at the moment is still playing catch up with obviously the cash flow investment. It's not a bad problem, it's just a timing thing. A little bit frustrating in that one, but I think now the next step is, now that we've got the pallet racking done, I can start to arrange what I'm going to be putting up there. The market stuff will go up there. I've got a few other things I'm going to put up there. The other things that I need to now focus on for this week is continue to get through all those electronics. The casters are coming tomorrow, so I'll get that all set up. We should have all that set up tomorrow, which means that workbench can then start to be decked out. And my other priority tomorrow will be sorting all those clothes, because I had a phone call with my my supplier earlier. It's not my regular supplier, but it is one of my suppliers, the one I went and saw last week, and looks like we're a go ahead for next week, so I'll be picking up a whole bunch of stock. And the beauty of that, and what I want to talk to people about, is the importance of doing business with other people that run really good businesses. The reason why is because it can be very lucrative. They can work on things that's going to make your life obviously very beneficial and their life very beneficial. So I'm very grateful for the opportunity. It's going to be probably one of my biggest purchases ever. And look, it scares me because, what if it's not as good as it sounds or whatever? I mean, I'm going through it. I've got to do my due diligence, all that stuff. But, the person has really made it really great for me in terms of the options they're giving me, because they know the timing's really bad, because we just outlaid a lot of money. So I've got really comfortable terms. Actually, terms that's going to get me way into FY26. So it means I don't have to pay for it for a long time. So all those little things all make a huge difference when doing deals, and gives you a lot more confidence when trying to make purchases and build the business and things like that. That's basically free capital for a period of time, because I'm going to have the stock, I can process it, I can start to sell it, get the cash back and pay it back before I even actually have to potentially pay it out of my own pocket. So that will be a big challenge. Yeah. All right, I'm going to get to my appointment. I'll be back at the warehouse after that. Pick up the post, do a couple of little admin bits before I pick up Carla from the station, and then, yeah, I'm just feeling great. I'm really feeling great. And I wanted to share that because when things go well, when you put your work in, when you do the hard yards, things can work out in your favor. Not saying I've got it all figured out and it's all perfect. We've got a long way to go, but right now I'm just enjoying the small wins. So that's me. I'll talk to you in a jiffy. And we're back. All right, I'm just here quickly. It's 10 to 5. Just got back. My photographer's just left. I'm actually just getting prepped for tomorrow because the intention tomorrow is to sort, well, at least start sorting all those boxes of clothes. So I've moved one over there already, just getting it ready. Getting it moved over there already, getting it ready. Yeah. So we'll be focusing on that. And then the other thing I'm going to do quickly is just get a couple more things here ready for tomorrow too. And then not too much actually. Actually, I just realized, no, I can't do too much there because we're getting the casters of that in the morning. So probably around 11 o'clock. So I think the goal tomorrow will either be finish all those in the morning, which, and then do all that in the afternoon or vice versa. And then tomorrow we can probably, I'll be getting all these new hangers which sit over the top of this tomorrow. They come and they go over the top. So all of these will go onto those, and then the actual on rollers will be able to come back around here, and we use that for when things have been photoed, when things have been skewed, and then we can move them around like these ones. These ones actually need to go over there. These have all been done. These are all flannel and heavy flannel, and a few other jackets and things like that. So yeah, just getting prepped for tomorrow, and I think we'll be able to start smashing through all this. So go for all that clothing, makeup, washing bags, and then when we get the other hangers ready as well, I've got a whole bunch of leather jackets here that I want to hang out, just to air them out a bit. But yeah, pretty happy day. Like, as I said, I mean, pretty happy with how things are progressing. Once these wheels have been made, we can start to really put some things into play, and see what we can do in terms of ramping up. My photographer has done 100 listings today. They also did 100 listings on Thursday. So their average was 80 in a full day. Now they've already gone up to 100. So we've gained 20% when they're here, because just coming in, just get straight into it, stocks everywhere, they don't have to sort it. It's just so much time. So with that, we're already starting to see the benefits in terms of input, and then it's going to come down to me to do output in terms of making sure sending them live. And of course I've got my lister John that's doing that. One thing else that I'll be talking about this week is the DVDs, the CDs and all that. Looks like I've got someone that's very keen on just CDs. I've got someone very, very keen on Blu-rays. I've got someone super keen on DVDs and all media, to be honest, and working on a few other people. So the reason why I haven't done anything on these yet is because I'm waiting for the next lot to arrive, and then we can start to see how much actual volume we're going to have to give a better indication. So that's that. I'm going to get out of here now, go pick Carla up from the station, and be back here again tomorrow. I'm going to get in early tomorrow. The thing I love about all this is I'm motivated to just get here, get work happening, to see what we can turn this business into, because no one else is going to do it. I mean, yeah, sure, people work for me, but I am responsible and accountable of making this happen. So we've still got a lot of unlisted stock in here. All of these phones I've still got to do. But there's a lot of work ahead of us, but I'm excited. So stick around for the video and find out what happens. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Ciao! Folks, it is Tuesday morning and it's bright and early. It's 7:30. It's not that early, but I mean, it's early for some, I guess. Beautiful morning, actually. I actually left my jacket at the warehouse, so it's a little nippy in the van, but we'll be right. We'll be right. Today. I'm still gonna just carry on from yesterday. Actually, I'm just feeling very, very content, very happy. Things are starting to fall into place today. We've got a very exciting day. I've got all my casters coming. I've got a doorbell coming. I've got a new lock system from the inside coming, because that hasn't actually been set up on the office. We're not able to actually lock from the inside, which was, you know, a bit of a problem for some of my staff, obviously, if I'm not there. And that's happening. The casters are coming. I've got a dual screen mount for my workbenches. I've got so many things happening that we're going to get us to the next stage in getting everything fully set up. Oh, and I've got the clothing rack hangers that go onto the pallet racking as well. So all of that should be happening today, which means we're one step closer to getting to where I want to be. And then it's the focus then is to get the workstations fully decked out. Probably going to have to buy a few things, tweak a few things. It's probably going to take a few sessions to really get that into a position that I want it to be in. But that's that. And then the other priority today is to focus on getting through all that clothing that I want to sort, because we have a big deal coming next week and I really want to make sure I'm on top of things. And I think this morning what I'm going to do is I'm going to prioritize getting some laptops done. I think that makes sense because I'm going to need that workbench freed up anyway. So if I get the laptops done, the workbench will be free. They can put the casters on. They're not coming till about 12 o'clock, I think. So that should give me enough runway. I can do postage in the afternoon. Sales have been not too bad. We landed on about, we spent about $800, $900 yesterday. My goal at the moment is to continue to maintain over $1,000 a day. We're doing about 1,092 on average. My goal for the end of the year, I think, I want to be doing $1,500 a day. That should be our minimum on average. Really, I want to be doing about 40,000 on average per month. I think that gets us to a pretty good position for the end of the year as we move into the second half of, well, by then it will be the second half of FY26. Anyway, I'm just talking, lots on my mind. I'm very excited. Be plenty of things going on today. Of course, it's never a dull day. It's just me. There's no other photographers in, so hopefully I can just smash out a whole bunch of stuff. I've really enjoyed just doing the laptops, like sitting back with a little screwdriver, just going at it, because for me, when I was younger, I used to sell computers actually as a side business, and it just takes me back to roots. It just gets me nostalgic, and I just enjoy it. It's very pleasing and relaxing, and yeah, I just, yesterday that really just made me so happy, even though, like, to be able to do all the things that I'm doing at the moment, like doing the laptops, we didn't need the warehouse to do that, but it's just the knowing that I can do that with comfort, not knowing I have to pack things up, set things up, change all these things in order to actually move forward, and it just makes my life so much easier. So yeah. Now I think the other thing that I said yesterday was we're starting to see some of the results come through from the productivity uplift. I can't remember if I spoke about it yesterday or if I was speaking to Carla about it. If I did, you're going to get it again. So my photographer, number one, who's my best photographer, has now done 2 days of 100 photo listings, which means that they never did 100 items at the storage unit, and now they've done it twice, and they've probably been back in full production for about 2 weeks now, and we've done 2 days of that. So that tells me a 20% uplift, which, you know, like, I mean, we're seeing the results that I want to see. And I think I did say it last night. So now it comes back on me to make sure we're getting those listings up. And one of the things that come up last week's video was, you know, how am I going to be leveraging the office? Well, the office space is going to get eventually turned into a whole bunch of different things, but I want to spend more time in the office. I don't want to be doing my listings, like I've done my listings this morning before I've left, send them live. So I have a lister, they draft them all for me. I'm going ahead doing pricing and just reviewing and, you know, basically doing any final touches that I need to do to get them over the board. But I would rather be doing that in the day at the office and actually doing more. So like if I've done 40 this morning, I would like to be able to do, you know, another 20, 50, 30, however it may be at the warehouse. So I'm not doing other things, because at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is all these great things that we photo, all these great things that we process, that they get listed. If they're not listed, they can't sell them. At the moment, there's sometimes between a 24 to 72 hour delay of getting those items up on, you know, to be listed. So I'll be working more on that this year to focus my time there. We still have a fair bit of stuff to get set up to make that happen, to get that nice flow state. But I think ultimately that's what's going to get us to the $1,500 a day.
Anyway, just sharing what's on my mind. Appreciate you all. Come along for the journey of what Tuesday is going to be. I'm sure it's going to be a good one, full of interesting things. Buckle up and let's get into it.
All right, we're here, folks. Got a little bit of a delayed. I ended up going to post the post as well, and got chatting for a bit, so a bit behind schedule, but that's all right. Get to make my own schedule. So, focus is I'm going to do all these laptops right now. I think I should be getting all those done. No worries, because all of this, because we're going to be putting the wheels on this later. This one's already got the wheels, and then this one. So, got to get cracking on that, and then all these boxes. Just making sure you can see what I'm pointing at. All these boxes will then be opened up down here, and that's the plan to kind of get into and completed today, which is a pretty big job to do. So it is going to be a pretty big day, and I'm sure there'll be some side quests along the way, but that's the intention there. All right, so I'm going to get cracking on this, and yeah, should be happy days. We'll do a bit of a pick pack and post a little bit later, but in terms of how things have been tracking, and I do apologize, every time I move this GoPro, I know it makes a weird sound, which probably is not what everyone wants to hear. I do apologize. I realized that in my edit last week, but anyway. All right, what are we sitting on? We're sitting on 86,949, so we're still creeping back up, trying to rebuild. We've only got 8 sales at the moment, or 8 orders. Some of these are multi-quantity. A few things going overseas as well, so happy with that. Oh, geez. Big day today. I'm excited, but let's not lose it. Let's go over and do some laptops. All right, so let's do this laptop. First thing that I like to do is I give everything a little bit of a clean, a really light touch. Just, I mean, these are all parts only, not working anyway, but it's just to really freshen things up, remove any smells, just things like that. Get away dust, just so it doesn't come across as yuck. Some of these can be pretty gnarly, so just give it a quick little clean, whatever. Easy done. Put the skew on it so I don't forget. And then what I'm going to do is take a photo over the top, just so I know which one we're working on, just in case photos get muddled up. I really just kind of do the sides, the front. We're keeping this really low intensive. There is some damage, so I kind of point at that. Turn around at the back. Sometimes if screws and stuff are missing, I'll point at them. Excuse me. Make sure you get a very clear view of the model number. That's also for my lister, so they know what needs to be listed. The screen ones can be interesting because if they've got the shiny screens, obviously it's going to give a little reflection to me, so you have to kind of do it on the side. That's that. All right, so that's all done. Make sure you get this detail here as well. This is an i7, 5th gen, so it's not going to be high end, but yeah, you'll still probably get 40, 50 bucks for it. All right, we're going to hopefully, actually I didn't charge this last night. Hopefully it's still got, yeah, it does, cool. All right, so we're going to just basically undo all these. Some of these will come out easily, some won't. So then it's just a matter of, yeah, like that. They're not going to come out. Come on. Yep. Sometimes you just got to push down a little harder. That's it. And there we go. And there's one more. this one will probably be, I hate these ones. Sometimes there's also screws underneath these little knobs as well, which sometimes you won't realize until you start to open them up. Most of these usually are pretty easy to open, but sometimes they can be real annoying. So there's just little clips, so you kind of need, I just got a little watch toolkit to be able to do this. Just so you can get behind there and flick the little clips. Looks good. And look, I'm pretty rough with this, but at this point, I'm not really too fussed. I mean, they've probably been thrown around so much already. All right, it looks like there's gonna be, I think there is, no, there isn't, okay, it's all good. Oh, there's one more screw over here that we didn't do, that's why. All right, so let me open it up. This is what we see. Gee, there's a lot of hair in there, that's gross. I'm actually just gonna pull that out. It's gonna make it a little bit better for the photo. Jeez. You know, if I was doing proper repairs on this, I'd be like blowing through it, all that jazz. But what we're looking at through here is to see if there's any hard drive, and it looks like the hard drive's already been taken out. You probably can't see this too well, but the hard drive's already been taken out. It's still got the RAM. I'm gonna keep the RAM in there just to elevate the price. What do we got here? This is, no, that's fine. Just making sure there's no SSDs, hard drives, or anything like that, just for people's privacy. Because I can't turn it on and test it, I don't actually necessarily know, you know, if that's going to be happening. So, meaning if, you know, if it's even working, but I'd rather remove the hard drive and send it off to someone and they can figure that out for themselves. All right, so just get a photo of this. Get them the RAM, show them that there's no hard drive. That's it. Then put it back together. Everything should clip in. Easy done. Put all the screws back in. Look, most of the time all the screws are going to go in any hole, but sometimes you do have longer ones in different parts of the boards. So you do sometimes need to build yourself a little screw map, so you know what's going where. I always remember off the original Tomb Raider, in that movie, when they're undoing all the screws, he makes a little map of where all the screws go. And sometimes that's what you got to do. All right, and that's essentially what we do. We screw them back up. This little screwdriver has been the best for this. And then once that's done, I take a photo of the skew. And then I've just got a template that I've got in my sheet that I basically just say parts only not working, hard drive removed. That's it. And then it's good to go. And then it just goes onto this trolley and it'll get put away later. And then, yeah, it gets uploaded later as well. My lister will do this. Now, ideally, I could just list this right now. And I think in the long run, what I'll end up doing is, I will have my outsourced service of my clothing, meaning I'm just paying someone else to do it for me. I'll have that all managed by someone else, having it done by the listers. And this kind of stuff, I would actually better off do this, take photos, and just go list it straight away. That's how I'll probably change my model to in the longer run, just so we can get quicker return. But, you know, at the moment, I like to be able to just do this batch, just get them all done. And if I had more time, I would then just go do it. But at this point in time, we don't have that much time. So take a photo of that. All done. Just put the note in here. Yeah, that's it. Then we move on to the next one. So I'm going to do that. You've got an idea. Yeah, if you've got questions about this kind of stuff, do let me know. I did have someone ask me, where do I get all my electronics from? Now, obviously I'm not going to give you my sources, but I've been working on getting electronics for the last 2 years. Some of it's through a managed service now that we've signed, some of it's through consignment, some of it's through just word of mouth, and then some of it's through just like scrap. And anyway, solving problems for other people. If they need to get rid of it, they don't have a way to get rid of it, or it costs them to get rid of it, and you're able to do it for them. Oh, and the other thing is consignment. I do this for some businesses and companies, people even. Just to, again, if you're solving a problem for someone, providing a value service to them, most people are more than happy to get involved. You got to prove it, but you got to validate it. But yeah, no, it works. All right, I'm going to do this one, and we'll check in a little bit later, folks. So I've just had a question come in from Dreamer Suze, and it says, "Hi there, I note all your photo taking is sorted into categories because of the volume, and so wondering, when you list each day, do you intentionally list a mix of items or list only one category of an item each day? Jackets one day, shirts the next day, phones the next? Curious on what you think about the listing algorithm based on your own experience." Look, this is a very interesting and controversial topic, but we do things in categories because it's just easier for batching and, you know, for everyone to be able to process things quickly. But honestly, I'll list whatever's the easiest for me to list, least amount of resistance or what I'm feeling. So like, for instance, if I have a backlog of 90 pieces of clothing sitting in my draft bank, but then I know that I've got, you know, 10 iPad or iPhone bundles going up in 2 hours, I'm going to prioritize the iPhone stuff because that's going to sell within 30 minutes. The clothing, I mean, look, to be frank, there's no necessarily any strategy to it. It's kind of like I just do my 40. I already know that the stock that I'm putting on my store is relevant. Therefore, we just do what makes sense. Now, there is periods of time where maybe I've sold out of, like, you know, jeans. So I will focus on putting jeans up first or something like that. Or if it's maybe winter, maybe we're getting, like right now we're leading up to winter. And cooler weather, so we're making sure we're getting a lot of jackets up. But at the same time, I'm going to list things anytime because people are always buying, and it's where I live. Yeah, it might be cold, but it's warm somewhere else. So I think you got to change the mindset around of you got to do, you know, one of this, one of that to keep the algorithm reaching. Yeah, sure. If I list lots of jeans, it's going to push more people to all my other jeans. So we do have a variety, but I have no set schedule in it. This morning I listed all flannels, and I think a couple of jackets. Whereas I think once I've done those, I think there's 5-10 more left in the bank for those. What's next is we've got women's skirts, dresses, tops, blouses. Like, I'll be working on that because that's next in the line. So I think the important thing to remember is, yeah, you want to be listing items that people want, and don't box yourself into only things that you think are going to sell, because the market will dictate that for you. The listing algorithm is a bit of a catch-22 because it does screw our heads over a little bit, but at the end of the day, yeah, the more items you list that are, and when I say items, I just need to blanketly say that items that people want. When you sell items that people want and you list them, it's going to bring in traffic. So if I list more jeans, it'll bring more traffic to all my jeans, because someone might see one and then eBay is going to recommend more jeans to them, and then they might buy 2. However, I'll have people come in and buy iPhones, cameras, jeans, and tops. I had someone purchase a full outfit the other day, like literally a top, a pair of, I think it was shorts and sneakers. Like, you want to be, the more you list good stuff, the more traffic comes into your store for them to be able to identify what they want. If you list one category, that is going to boost the rest of your category. But for us, because we are 80% clothing, it kind of broadens out anyway. Any clothing that we list is going to get views. Obviously, if I list more women's get views. We have a lot more of men's stuff. So I'm trying to list more women's to bring more women into the store. Yeah, I hope that clarifies. And then you also said your OCD is kicking in, worrying about the hanging clothes being continually covered in dust. Yeah, look, we haven't seen too much of an issue. I have been going around and checking it on a regular basis. It's no different to when we're in the storage units. The thing with the stuff that's hanging is anytime we go to post it, or if it does sell, we give a brush down, we give a check, we give a look through, but nothing too crazy. And surprisingly, yeah, when we have the door open, it's not that dusty in it. We haven't seen a huge increase of dust yet, although it hasn't been windy. If it's windy, we close the door. So, but I can understand your concern. Thanks for the question. Really, really good one. And yeah, I'll reply to your comment and say that I've answered this in the video for you. Cheers. All right, so one of the things that I spoke about last week was that some of these PCs or laptops won't be really worth it to sell However, salvaging them for bits and bobs is usually, I mean, I wouldn't say it's kind of worth it. I mean, if you can get into it pretty quick enough. I have a ball doing this kind of stuff. So I've just gone into this one and I've pulled out its old CPU. Now they're gold prong CPUs, which means I mean, you get a lot of these, they can be worth a little bit. But this is just pure copper. Like, this thing actually weighs a bit. Let me show you on the scale. I mean, there's almost 100 grams of copper there, but one thing that I'll be continuing to work on is just as I do more and more of this kind of stuff, and it's really got to be worth it and quick, is just accumulating stuff which can be scrapped, because it's over a period of long time, it's going to be worth it. Over a short period of time, it's not worth it. But then once a quarter or whatever, really bank those dollars and walk away with some wins. So that's really what I'm working towards. And this is by no means something that I'll be doing as a priority, but I've got a couple more here that I'm just going to get them done. And it's a lot of fun. I absolutely love this. It's so much fun. But sometimes fun doesn't necessarily make you a lot of money. So just wanted to be clear with that. I mean, if you can get the right CPUs and you can get a kilo of them, you get paid some pretty good money. But that's a lot of CPUs that you got to get. So, I mean, this CPU alone weighs 25 grams. So you're going to need, quite a lot of those. Anyway, just thought I'd share that, a little bit of fun. The rest of this just goes straight to scrap, so it's not really worth it otherwise. Yeah. All right, all the laptops are done. What did we end up with? Ended up with a total of 17 laptops. So there was 20 there, 3 of them were just for literally scrapping and salvaging, which I'm pretty happy with. We've got a few little bits and bobs to add to our stockpiles. I'm just gonna have a quick little break, clean up. I might do a pick. What's the time? 10:30. Have a quick snack, then have a bit of a pick, and then start to shuffle a bit things so that when my it's actually my dad coming to do the casters. When he gets here, that's good to go. And then we'll probably get into some clothing. That's main priority today. And then once the clothing's done, get back more into electronics. So we're winning. We are winning. Some good news, just finished picking the orders and we're back on 87,000, which is pretty good. I'm happy with that. So we just had a couple more sales come through. I'm gonna go get these ready to get packed, and I'm just sorting a few things, moving things a few around just to make sure that, I can, because what will happen is I'm getting a doorbell installed, I'm getting a lock put on, got to get the casters done. So while that's happening, just making sure I've got other things ready to go, so that we can continue, or I can continue to be as productive as possible. Because there's always moving pieces, and I've also got a couple of returns coming back, which should arrive here around midday as well, and then I'll be able to process them as well. So I'm going to do that. Later today, the plan will be to, I also get, and you'll understand it when you see them, little things that go over here to basically replace these. And then we'll change all of these, and then I'll have obviously some free racks on wheels. And I've got, I think I mentioned this yesterday, I've got a whole bunch of leather jackets that I want to hang out as well. So lots of things happening today. Lots of things happening. So just let me do my thing, and I'll check in when I've done some work. All right, postage is done, which means I think it's time to just start getting into the clothing, get ahead on that. I was having a fiddle with this yesterday and just getting used to taking it up and down. And people have been asking me, it's like, what do I plan to put on the pallet racking? Well, there's a number of different things. So I think short term, there'll just be some excess stock that goes up there, stuff that, haven't gotten to, that we'll be getting to. Ideally, the flow that I want to have with the market stuff is, it would be good if I can get one pallet down to the market size in terms of box stuff. And that way, when we come back, I can literally just put it on the crate, go straight up, and it's packed away for the next market. Clothes and stuff like this, like on the racks, well, that's a little bit different because I'll be picking and choosing as we need to. The other thing then that will be going up there is I will store all my padded mailers and extra postage supplies that is for the long term, like boxes and stuff. And then there is going to be some other opportunities for me to, I'm actually going to be renting out some of these spots to get a little bit of extra income in. And again, all these things take a little bit of time to get into play, but the idea is that if I had like a big deal like this come through, which I seem to get every 90 days, I might not be able to process it for 30 days. So the first thing it will do is go on a pallet, go straight up there, and then in 30 days I can do it, and it means I've just got extra space. I've still got to sort all of this stuff, and there's some stuff here that are on pallets that needs to go up there as well. So there's lots of things that we're going up there. I'm about to start getting into the clothing. I bet you what will happen as soon as I go to start, I'll probably get the message they're on their way. So Murphy's Law. All right, I am doing all the clothes now. Basically the approach for this is putting them into categories. While I put them into categories, if I see anything that needs to go straight to wash, I put it in a washing bag. But at the moment, like newer tags, women's jumpers, that's actually left over from the other day. Then we've got suits, we've got leggings and ladies sportswear. Then we've got jackets, then we've got men's tees and sportswear. And then we've got pants, then we've got denim. So that's kind of the process we're going through. Yeah, it's working okay. There's a lot of interesting things in this. I mean, it's not a mystery box, but essentially it is in that sense. I know what I'm getting in terms of value. In terms of value, I just don't necessarily know the items I'm getting. But you know, there's some really nice stuff in here. And with everything combined, the average cost of good for all this should be about $7.50 a piece. With an average ASP probably between 36 to 45, and then plus minus post on some of that. So should get me to close to $40, if not $36. So pretty happy with that. And it's just really a lot of bread and butter kind of stuff. And when I know people talk about bread and butter all the time, and it can actually confuse a lot of people of what is bread and butter. Well, bread and butter is essentially just the stuff that you need to, the basics, the essentials, the stuff that just turns over through the store. You know, nothing exciting, nothing crazy, but you know, it is essential and it is required. Just like bread and water. Like, I mean, you can survive off bread and water. We can survive off this. That's essentially what it is. So I'm just going through each one of these boxes at the moment, pulling out what we got, seeing what we got, putting it into the right category. Nice little dickies there, actually. And then if I get too high with piles, I'll start to make up washing bags and things. But I'm not quality checking necessarily, I'm just putting them straight into where they need to go. So that's what we're doing. All right, folks, it's been a bit. Now have the casters on these, which is going to make things so much easier to move around. Obviously that one already had it, this one has it too. Just got a couple of computers dropped off as well. So that's done. We did come into a bit of a roadblock with the racks. So we had the things that were going to clip over the top, but we're running some rough math, and it actually makes more sense. Actually, I'm going to fit more having these ones, because essentially these can hang out here a bit, so they can hang out. But if we put the ones on the inside, I'm only having on the inside, and it's actually more convenient to be able to do this. So yeah, we ran the numbers. It actually makes more sense to have more racks on wheels that can just slot in here. Not sure if I'm using that side yet, but I think I'm just going to invest in buy some more racks. Happy days. These ones fit perfectly underneath, as you can see. That model is the ones that I got recently, so I'll get more of those, replace those ones, and then I'll just have the other ones for market. Of course, I'll have space here to store them too, so I think that's just the right approach for that. Also got a lock on the door done. Oh, and I got the doorbell done, so hopefully if I press a button you should hear the doorbell. I'm gonna leave it here and you tell me if you heard the doorbell. All right, we're back in action. I think the battery is running low. All right, so that's done. I'm gonna have some lunch, then we're gonna get back into sorting clothes. I've got to get all through that today. This is now done in terms of wheels, so now I can actually start to deck it out. I might have a bit of a fiddle with that today as well. So lots of things still to do, lots of little things which are frustrating because you just want, they're just nitpicky, but it's all part of it. This is priority number one because next week all of this will be filled up with clothing, and then we're still got to bring the other workstation, clothing workstation, photo booth into here as well. So still a few things to get done, but hey, I'm happy. We're making progress. I'm gonna have some lunch and get back into it. All right, we're back here doing some more. Lots on my mind at the moment, but really need to get this done just so we can progress. I mean, I've got plenty of time through the week, but there's always things that pop up. So while I've got the time, I'm gonna get this happening because there's no like time. There's no time like now. Is that right? Is that the same? All right, let's see what we got in here. Kick it off with, what do we got? That's a new one, never seen that before. What have we got? So look, again, just going through this, sorting them into the categories so that we can ideally send them for washing in types of categories, because when we do our clothing, we like to do them in categories just to make the photographer's life a little bit easier. Got some shaping skinny, nice. Little puffer. Ooh, a Lululemon puffer jacket, that's pretty cool. That's cute. Chuck him over there. So yeah, that's the way we're gonna go with this. And again, I'm doing this one because I paid for this 30 days ago. We haven't used it, so it's just stock here, sitting here, not making us money. So really need to get it processed and up and at 'em ASAP, really, is the key. Some really good stuff, actually. A lot of women's. I like this because it forces us to do women's. Oh, this is interesting. Little Maccas. Peter Alexander. Nice. Go over there. What do we got here? Oh, more Peter Alexander. Oh, that's the part of the Maccas. Okay. That's epic. And then Seinfeld for Peter Alexander as well. That should do okay too. That's new with tags. Alright. What do we got? Mac pack. Back bench, nice little skirt. No, that's alright. Interesting. Nothing crazy. I can probably go with these ones. Is it Ralph? It is. Should be 35 plus or 45 bucks, give or take with postage. Oh, this is a big one. I think I've got one like this already, actually. French Connection, big one. Really good for winter coming up. A lot of this is just bread and butter, as I said before, but just really, it's just good quality. Like, it's not bad, it's not, you know, nothing crazy either, but it's just consistent. Really hits perfect well for the demographic. Kathmandu. This is big. Don't like big stuff, but you know, people still got to wear clothes. The reason why I don't like big stuff is because it's awkward to, my photographers hate it. Which is fair enough. But that's what they get paid to do. Nice. Some denim. Oh, newer tags. Jack and Jones, alright. Time for a break. Oh, that's cool. Little Pokemon one it was. With Psyduck. Hey, Lioness. Nothing crazy, but it goes all right at the right price point. What have we got here? Nike, yep. Tech jacket. Another big dress. Yep, beautiful. Oh, no, but more Peter Alexander newer tags. Ah, sweet, more Seinfeld. Oh, that's part of that one. Sweet. All right. Oh, getting a minute. Nice little shorts over there. So this is the prime of it, folks. I mean, this is probably one of the favorite parts of me doing the business. Is I love going through this clothes. I prefer to go through vintage clothing, but this is super important for me to know what is going into the store and does it meet metrics, criteria, and all that. But eventually, down the line, like one day I'll have a product owner and they'll manage all this. That's the way it will be. It has to be. Yeah, I've got customer purchasing multiple items. I mean, we're not at a point where customers take too much out of my time. Probably, I reckon I do 30 minutes across the day of customer management, which isn't enough to obviously pay someone to do, but it's just frustrating because it's always at different times. And I don't like to wait around on it because, you know, if customers are wanting to make decisions to purchase, you don't want to leave time for them to rethink their actually considering purchasing it. So I jump on that ASAP. Like I stop what I do. Sometimes it's really bad because it pulls you away from what you're doing. But you know, if it's going to, you know, get you a higher hit rate of sales, then I think it's worth it. Interesting. Not new with tags, little show po. Nothing crazy, but always good with newer tags. Some more denim. What do we got? Rollers. All right, not bad. I think I've got a delivery, folks. Anyway, I'll leave it there for now. All right, making some pretty good progress. We've got stuff that needs to go to wash. I've made up a few bags. There's stuff here that's pretty much all good to go. So I've just been separating them out and I've made a bit more space. So now I can continue on to some more boxes. Alright, got some pants here, shorts, make a bit more room. All right. Whew. It's 3:30. We're nearly done for the day. I do need to post a couple more things. I had a few more international sales come through, so I'll probably process them. And I'll drop off the post on the way home. Starting off with some denim. What do we got here? Ooh, some R.M. Williams. Nice. Jeez, that's a big one. Let's see. Okay. There. Ralph Lauren polo. Chuck you over there. What's this? Alpine, oh yeah. there. Some more pants. Ooh, big Nike jacket, that's cool. That's epic. Thermofit. Yeah. More of this stuff. Nice. There's a big jacket. Panthers jacket. Nice little Tommy sweater. A vest. We don't sell many vests and suits, just because we kind of avoid them. Because sometimes if they come crimpled or whatever, they're just a little bit inconvenient. Some Levi's, shaping slim. Oh, these are some overalls, I think. Yeah, gander. Yeah, okay. You there. Another dress. Another David Lawrence. David Lawrence has done alright for us. Nothing crazy, but it's a brand that seems to tick over. A lot of these are seasonal. This thing is monstrous. Jeez. No, yes. What have we got here? Nice little Nike tee. Should be another polar fleece. What is this? Is this unbranded? That's weird. Ah, Crane. Bit of a low end one. Nice dress. Adidas. These red style usually go pretty good actually. Oh, it's actually... Oh, it's Liverpool, even better. That's usually why they go well, but even better when it's Liverpool. That's newer tags. Oh yeah. Jeez, this thing's huge. Nice big rip curl. Wow. Sherpa. Plenty of jackets. I mean, they're going to be perfect for coming up to cooler weather. Oh, that's nice. Country road piece. French Connection. Another suit jacket, is it? A blazer. Oh, David. Oh, that's nice. It's a nice one. Parachute pants. Adidas. I do apologise if you can't hear me talking. Completely forget. Country Road. That's an interesting piece. Off the shoulder, I'd say. I mean, to the side. This is massive. Nice big Zara. Oh, there's the belt. Gotta always have the belt. If you don't have the belt, it's pointless. Some more denim. Oh, newer tags. Nice. Ooh, Scanlan Theodore. These are some White Fox newer tags. Some more Maggie tea. Maggie tea does alright too. Another dress. This is probably Tommy. No. Yep. Geez, a lot of women's. It's good. I mean, it's not bad. It's just there's a lot. Zara. What is this? This is another big dress. Oh yeah, City Chick. Makes sense. New with tags. Hey, some Stussy. It's nice. Uniqlo linen. New tags. Oh, just getting a phone call. Alright, I think that is it for today. We've done a fair bit. We've still got probably half the amount of boxes to do though, so we're not really there. I'll probably continue this tomorrow, but we've got a good flat layout. I'm going to come in early tomorrow anyway and might shuffle a few more things. I'm actually just going to post a couple more items just because I've probably got another 6 or 7 to do, so I figured I may as well do that before I go and then I'll drop the post home. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more boxes to do. There was 17, so actually, yeah, we've actually progressed quite a bit. So what still needs to happen is the newer tag stuff still needs to be sorted. All the women's stuff needs to be sorted into niche categories. That is all jackets, that's all pants. We still got to sort it into washing, which I'm doing as we somewhat go. And then, yeah, we've got a whole bunch here ready to go as well. So we've still got a fair bit to get through, but I have no problems of getting through this by the end of the week. That should be done, if not tomorrow, by Thursday. And then I would like to really start to test into this over the rest of the week, set up, you know, the monitor arms. I think the best way I'm going to have to set this up is actually go ahead as if I'm going to start testing things and then see what I need to add, what do I need, what am I looking for, what am I reaching for. Got all those VHS and VCR players and DVD players that I might put to the test. But yeah, we're getting there, we're getting there. I've pulled out a couple of items already actually. We've got, this guy's going international, it's gone for about $67. Got a whole bunch of cameras in this lot that needs to go out. Some shorts, this one's gone overseas for over $100. And then I just sold a pair of diesel jeans that I'm going to pull out as well. So I'm going to do that and then we'll probably wrap it up. But I figured I'll answer because it's a fair enough question. So it's come through from Dean Funderburg. How come you're always by yourself? Are you a one-man business with this huge warehouse? I thought I actually spoke about this. Actually, no, I think they've commented on an older video, so that's probably why. So the reason why it always looks like I'm here by myself, well, today I am here by myself. My photographers work alternating days. I've got one on Monday, one on Wednesday, one on Friday, and the other one's on Tuesday and Thursday. The one that's here on Tuesday and Thursday, they're currently away on leave. They're actually back next Thursday. But regardless, when they're here, I actually don't film them. I mean, we've never really sat down and had the discussion about, do you want to be on camera? I just never put them on camera. They know I'm filming, they know I have the YouTube and all that. But I try to be as courtesy, you know, have courtesy as much as possible and not really put them into it, bring them into it, unless they want to be. I mean, sometimes they get shown in the background, but I don't really intentionally bring them on. The only person that I really bring on is Carla, just because she's already used to it and she's kind of been on the channel quite a fair bit already anyway. So, but she knows she doesn't work for me. She's just here sometimes doing her own thing. So that's really the intention. I think over time, maybe we might do that more and more. But I mean, the journey is my journey, documenting how it works, how it happens. I don't really like putting that pressure on the team because they're here to work and I want them to be focused on working, not worrying about is someone filming me and all those kind of things. So that's that. Fair enough question, but yeah, half the time I am here by myself, half the time I'm not, and I don't really care either way. We get as much work done as possible, and I also have my my washing service where I outsource that so that doesn't happen on premise, and I also have my listers, which that's in the Philippines, so they're not obviously here either. So yeah, good question. All right, team, that is a wrap. I'm getting out of here, I'm packing up. I've got to go put that into the van and then take it to the post office, and we'll be back here again tomorrow. Tomorrow I've got backpacks for half the day, and then the second half I'll be here doing more stuff, I guess. Couple of delays again. This is the reality of it. Things don't always go as planned, so we're now waiting for my other racks for these to arrive so we can start to, I'm going to have exactly the same racks in here, so it just makes my life so much easier. And then once that's done, we need to get a little cover over the top so that we can start putting pallets on there. And we can start putting pallets on here, but probably hopefully get something up there this week once we start to get through all of that down there. So lots of moving pieces, but I have done, well, at least started or done everything that I wanted to do today. So that's a win on my books. All right, I'll see you in the morning, folks. Ciao. Folks, good morning. Oh, geez, I apologize. It's a bit bright. It is an absolutely beautiful morning. And I know for you it's only been literally seconds, but for me it's been obviously all night. But hope you're doing well. If you're just jumping around into the timestamps, today is Wednesday. And we're kicking off early, 7:30 again, heading into the warehouse. First thing I'm going to do is just, we'll talk about that a little bit later, but I do have Backpack for Big Kids for the first half of the day, so I'll go to the warehouse, just do a little bit of admin stuff, and then yeah, head over to Backpacks, and then I'll be back probably around 12:30 or so. But one thing that I really want to encourage people right now, because it's top of mind, is when I first started doing reselling, when I was working from home, and then when I moved to the storage units, it probably took me a good, I mean, this is my 5th year, it took me a good 2.5 years to really just click and get really switched on in terms of, you know, what you're doing is really going to determine how well your business is going to grow. Now, if you're a part-timer, it applies the same thing, right? You've got a certain amount of time and you've got to do the best bang for buck to get you the most amount of money in return. However, the difference there is, you know, you've just got yourself to think about, and that's actually the advantage. If you are doing this part-time, make the most of that advantage. But I digress. But what I'm saying is like, as you start to grow, you realize that you can't be dilly-dallying. And one of the things that really enabled me to, I guess, invest more time into the business and comfortably and with no frustration or no burnout and all those different things, is really bringing together all the things that make sure that you're going to thrive. And now what that looks like is, well, one, this business, it brings me joy. I'm passionate about it. Though it gives me some stress, that stress is like a empowering level of stress because it's forcing me to grow. When you combine all those three things, you know, the happiness, the passion, the joy, and the challenge to solve a problem or a sense of purpose, or it fulfills me in a way which is making me grow, all of those things combined makes me want to be just doing this always. And that's why I'm up at, I was up at 5 o'clock this morning, but that's why I'm here leaving 7:30 to go into the warehouse before I do my volunteer work to just get things done. Because even though I've got staff, they're not going to do this. They're not going to go out of their way above and beyond, crazy early in the morning to do this, because it's not their thing. It's not their jam. It's their job. If I'm paying them to get up early, maybe if that's what they signed up for sure. But the reality is, what you put in is what you're going to get out of it. But the key thing here is, you want to make sure that what you're building is what you want. If you're not building something that you don't want, you're not going to want to do it, right? And a good example of this is, for me, I never thought I wanted to do clothing, but once I realized the enjoyment out of it, what I got out of it, the process, being able to offload it, and not having to worry about the things that were stressing me, well, I was able to thrive and I was able to put my time in other things that I enjoy doing.
etc. Once I learned about the clothing, and this is not a pitch for you to be doing clothing, this is more of a pitch of like when you learn something or have a bit of a scratch of an itch of something that brings you joy, and you're curious about, and you dive into that and you learn about it, and then you can bring it into into play into your own world, you're going to thrive, right? And a good example of this was also like me doing the computers the other day, the laptops. I love just sitting down and doing that because it brings back that nostalgia from when I was a teenager, young adult, doing that and selling them on the side. It brings me joy, right? So my challenge to you is, if you're struggling with eBay, reselling, business, heck, if you're struggling with life, what you want to do is revisit just what's going on. Have a bit of a situational awareness of what is your situation, what are you doing, how are you feeling, and what are the things that are causing you to feel frustrated, what are the things making you feel happy, and then start to figure out, okay, what do I need to start doing more of, what do I need to keep doing more of, and what do I need to stop doing stuff of? Because if you remove the things that you shouldn't be doing, the things that cause frustration and annoyance, and then you're just going to keep doing the things that are good for you and start doing the things that are good for you, you are going to thrive, right? And I do apologize if this is all a bit of a jumble of words, but in my head it makes sense. So that's just on my heart, on my head, on my mind, what I've been thinking about, and I just wanted to share that because I've had some really great conversations with people over the last few weeks. There's a lot of new people here that have joined the channel, so I do appreciate you. And I know a lot of you aren't all resellers, and that's something that maybe I haven't really realized, that there's people out here just enjoying the show, following along for the journey, and you're not a reseller, and that's great, because I'm not here to preach how to resell. I'm here to show you how I'm building my business and what that looks like, and all the thinkings, the decisions, the struggles and challenges that go with that. So that's that. We're going to head into the warehouse, and once we're there, I'll take you through what's the first part of action. Beautiful morning. I love that low fog. Beautiful autumn. Let's do it.
And here we are again. All right, so the plan just now, I've only got about really 45 minutes, an hour or so. I can either continue to go through the clothing. I'm actually just going to shuffle a few things here just for my photographer, because they'll be in here probably around 9 o'clock. Just make sure that they're good to go, because I didn't do it last night, which I should have. I'm going to put these phones on charge for them, make sure they're all charged up. And then I'll shuffle a couple of things here, just so they've got movement and plenty of access. They've got plenty of stuff to do. It'll be interesting to see how many listings they get done today, because there's a variety of stuff. So hopefully we can get 80 to 100 again. I'll do that, and then I'm actually thinking about, I'm probably just going to do the clothing this afternoon. I'm thinking I might just start to shuffle this a bit and start to set this up and see what it could look like. The only other thing I can do is do a bit of a pick, pack and post. There's so many options, right? And what I'm loving at this point in time, I'm now at a point where I don't need a sense of urgency. This is a good thing and a bad thing, because when I don't have a sense of urgency, I tend to slow down. I like to be moving fast. So we're at 86,504, keep going up to 87, dropping back down. And we only got 6 orders. Yeah, not much actually. Someone just made a purchase just then, which I'm very grateful for. So it's, yeah, I mean, it's not quiet. We're still averaging about $1,000 a day, which I'm very happy with. And I'm actually super excited, because once March is over, April might actually be the first normal month where we don't have high expenses. These first 2 months have been pretty brutal. And I've invested, we're probably sitting at about $20,000 now of capital into getting all this set up. Some of that isn't exactly straight into operations. Some of that is obviously bond money as well, and then having to pay rent up front. But then I got the 2 months free. So hopefully March will land in a positive number. It might be a very small positive number, But then I think April we will be back to somewhat normal. I'm pretty confident on that. So, all right, let's get cracking. I'll figure out what I'm going to do, and then I'll do it. All right, I'm just starting to put together what things can look like. So I've just quickly shuffled things, put some screens down, and I'm basically just going through and creating a list of things that I need to get the way it should be. Just by like setting things up, I can start to see what needs to happen. So like how I envision this is these screens cannot be on the desk, because the desk space is the most precious part of real estate when it comes to having a workbench. So I need to get these elevated. These two screens are not compatible with putting on a screen stand, like on a monitor arm. So what I'm likely to do is I'm gonna probably see if I can get some mounts to build a bit of a shelf or something that we can put these elevated. And I wanna be able to essentially test and photo at the same time. These screens, I wanna have at the same location, so one above each other. The reason why that is just because then I'm not having to go one thing here, one thing here. I can kind of just do all the testing here and take the photos here, and then it's done kind of thing. Over here is probably going to be like the backlog of things that require a little bit more tinkering or whatever. This is where the test station is, so it's kind of like process. If it doesn't need to be tested with the screen, I can do it all here. If it does need to be tested with the screen, we do it all here. And then if it's non-related to a screen and non-electronic, it comes straight to here, which is kind of like the clothing, the shoes and toys and bits and bobs. So it's going to take a little bit to figure out what this looks like. In the short term, it doesn't really matter. It's good enough is good enough kind of thing. So I'll be able to just start testing VHS players and things like here, like that here. I just need to remove some of this so that, you know, it's not in the way for when I'm taking photos. So that will go behind. So just that kind of little things. Short term, it's not really a big issue. Long term, I want to make sure things are just put in a way where when I build my SOP on this, SOP, or my process guide for someone else to do this, I want to make sure that they can come in and it's very simple, stupid, everything's where it needs to be. You know, being able to pick and grab things as required, that's really the intention there. Yeah, I'm just going to have a little bit more of a tinker. I mean, if people have ideas of how they would, if they were setting up a workstation, a testing station, what would you have? What are the non-negotiables that you would have? Obviously, here's where I'm going to be doing all the tinkering, because that's where I'm chucking stuff into here or pulling mobile phones out. We're going to have the charger station set up, all that thing. It should just be all plug and play, like all plug and play. I think by the time I've got it set up, people should have a better understanding what I'm trying to achieve here. And the priority is purely for testing. Does it work, does it not? Versus repairs at this point. So short term, we're just focusing on quick bang for buck. Does it work, does it not? Can we sell it? And then as we start to gain time from that, we can start to say, okay, it actually makes sense. We can actually tinker this, we can repair this, we can fix this, therefore let's progress forward. So there will be a dedicated laptop here as well, all those different things. There's actually going to be a dedicated laptop at every single workstation, whether it be here, whether it be here, whether it be this photo station, that photo station, because I don't want to keep moving around. And if I'm going to have more people working, I need them to be able to execute. There's a lot of things to happen. Obviously, some of that stuff is longer term, but I'm really just sharing you my headspace and trying to give you the vision of what we're trying to achieve here. I need to charge you. You're flashing at me saying you need to be charged, so I'm going to charge you. All right, folks, I'm off to backpacks and we're back here after 12. Folks, we are back. I've just pulled out all the stuff to go to postage, and we've got a few different interesting things. Starting to sell quite a few more sweaters actually, coming into some cooler weather. Nothing crazy. It's a total of 11 items now. So I'm going to get these all packed up and ready to go. But you know, all in all, it's not too bad. Definitely some big waves, but definitely better than 2 weeks ago. So we are getting a trend upwards again. So I'm going to get this done, and then I'll continue on to sort all that clothing, and then also probably get the workstation. If I finish the clothing, I'll get the workstations ready for tomorrow as well, so I can start to test some of the VCRs and whatnot, but priority is the clothing. Let's do this. All right, folks, back to sorting clothing. This is, I think there's 4 more boxes after this, so we're almost there. And then we will be able to continue to process it, wash it, all that jazz. And then next week I get more for something different. We've got heaps here to process, but I think after I do this, I think we're going to do a whole bunch of sweaters just to get a ramp up of cooler weather, because as soon as that cool weather hits, everyone just panic buys. And I'd like to have some pretty cool stuff. So we've got a small amount of sweaters, like wool sweaters and knits. When I say small amount, probably 50 kilos. And then after that, process the other stuff that I get next week, which is a mix of mainly tops and jackets, I think. Jerseys, a bit of everything. But more on that later. Alright, what do we got? That was our photographer just giving commentary. Anyway, team. They're laughing because they didn't realize I was still chatting. Anyway, I'm going to get through this and I'll take you through at the end. Alright folks, we're up to the last box. It's been a little bit, just been shuffling. There's actually someone unpacking a whole bunch of stuff out the side of our warehouse, which is all a bit too exciting. Trying not to get distracted too much by that. Last box, and then I got to finish sorting all of this, and then yeah, the idea is to get it processed as quick as possible. I was meant to have my second photographer back tomorrow, but they're actually going to be away a little bit longer. But that's the pros and cons of having casual. It does work in an advantage, but also sometimes a disadvantage, but that's okay, it's all good. It is what it is. All right, let's do this. What do we got here? We've got more women's, Queen the label, okay. All right, so I'm gonna get this done and then start to clean up all of this. It's gonna take a while. All right, folks, we are now officially done. These stacks are pretty high, so that's all new with tags. This is pretty much a big mix of women's, a lot of dresses, mainly dresses and really big tops, and everything in between. This is just little bits and bobs. We've got skirts and sportswear over there. That's all jackets. Here's all, well, that's all shirts and long sleeves down there. Then we get under there is pants, and then there's jeans, and then this is just a few extra jackets and a few other things here. That's for the delicate wash. This is stuff that had defects, and then I've already started to put some of it stuff that doesn't need to be washed already out and about, and we're getting it photoed straight away. So pretty happy with that. Now that that's done, on to the next thing. I'll probably shuffle it a bit, just move things around. I think I mentioned yesterday that what we decided to do about all the racking in here. I ordered 5 more racks. They've arrived. Hopefully I'll get them tomorrow because they've been dropped off at the post office, which is frustrating. The reason why I don't have things delivered here yet is because unfortunately when you buy things off Amazon, it's never guaranteed for a certain time, because sometimes it comes after hours as well. So yeah, got to try and manage that, but ideally it would have been better to have it delivered here. So I'm probably just going to shuffle a few things. It is 3 o'clock now, and then yeah, might do a bit more on the workstation, but really just got to make sure that we're not leaving it too crazy down there, because I've got to have all this space cleared out. Not all this space cleared out, all that space ready so I can process the other stuff coming next week. But now we have all of this space here. So that makes a huge difference as well. But the good thing is about these workstations, they're on wheels. Even though I'm setting them up here, they're all going to move down one bay eventually. So maybe I'll just do some quick win photos. Anyway, I'll keep you updated. Alright folks, that is the wrap of the day. We did manage to sort a few of the piles. This pile's now depleted. That corner's now depleted. A little bit here's depleted. We did all the newer tags except for some of the real crazy stuff. And then we've got all of this here now. So very, very happy with that. Now we just obviously got to get it photoed, which will take a little bit of time. All these boxes now need to find a home. That's all empty now. Yeah, not too bad of a day. Thank you to everyone that's been reaching out about the CDs. Hopefully this week I'll be getting the big lot that's coming through that I've been talking about. And we'll be able to get a bit of a gauge of CDs, DVDs, media, and all that kind of stuff. So that's me. I'm going to go drop off the post, and then we'll be back here again tomorrow doing it all again. So, ciao. Folks, welcome to Thursday. Can't believe we're here already. It's been a pretty quick kind of week, actually. It's been all over the place, like usual, roller coasters, ups and downs. Yesterday was pretty brutal. We only did like, $350, I think it was. Might have been a bit more than that. But we're still trending on the up for this quarter, so like I'm still happy. It's just a little frustrating when things are a little bit slower than you expect. Today, Thursday, a couple of things happening today. So originally I had my second photographer back, but he's just been pushed out a bit longer, which is fair enough. So it's just me today. I do have a delivery hopefully coming today. If not today, it's tomorrow. I've got my battery pack coming for the walkie stacker. I do have a call with Ethan Rushok, my accountant. We're just catching up, actually more for a bit of banter, but if you are looking for an accountant, can highly recommend Ethan. He's been mine for, it must be my 3rd or 4th year now. Absolute game changer, knows what he's talking about, especially in the reseller community. I'll put a link up on screen. You can jump down in the description below as well. Well worth it. My recommendation, if getting in touch with Ethan, is get in touch, see what he can offer, have a call with him. I think he offers like a free 30-minute call or whatever. And you know, the key thing for me when having an accountant is actually doing a bit of tax planning. And usually we do that around May in advance of the end of the financial year. See if there's any, you know, tips and tricks that we can do to really make sure I'm landing in the best position for the year. And it gives you a little bit of time to make that happen as well. So definitely something worth to look into if you are looking for an accountant and you're, you know, intending to grow and build your business. All right, so there's a couple of things on my mind. I'm actually a little bit frustrated just because there's a neighbor which I hadn't met before and causing a little bit of issues actually. Just parking in front of the door, and yeah, just silly stuff that shouldn't even really matter, but like they're just really not paying any attention. All right, so today I would like to probably try and get through some more electronics. I've got all those and I've got all of the VCRs. I really should try and start testing those and seeing, you know, different ideas around the workbench situation. Carla's going to be here tomorrow, and I'll get her to have a look. I really appreciate Carla's, you know, outside perspective on these kind of things, so she'll be helping with that tomorrow. The clothing, we basically have got into a position as yesterday that it's been sorted. I might do a little bit more sorting of this a bit later, but you know, it's not really going to make a huge difference because we've already got piles. We have made up some washing bags which have been put into the office. These are all, you know, stuff ready to be photoed as well. So we are a little bit behind schedule in that sense, but that's, you know, it is what it is. I do have a few non-clothing items that I want to kind of get on top of as well, just get some cash flow happening. Another thing that's on my task list to do is, probably can't see this too well, is get some of this stuff actually and get it up in the air, get it off the ground out of the office and put it up here. I'm probably just going to put it on the first level. Do that. Well, I actually had the clothing racks arrive yesterday. They're sitting at the Australian Post, but I didn't get there yesterday. Might get them today. Might have someone drop them off for me, and we've got to do that shuffle. So still quite a few things to do this week. I am getting some shelving that will be replacing some stuff here, and I'm really just giving myself going through my task list that I have to do. And then the other thing that I've got still to do is all of this. I gotta just deal with all of this. That back there on the I guess against the office, that will become some shelving as well, just low end shelving, just to get things off the ground. I still need to sort all this. Some of this I might even process today as well. So yeah, lots of little bits and bobs to do. In terms of sales, as I said, it's been pretty brutal. It's consistently all over the place, just like in true nature of eBay. Oh, 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 we're gonna lose you. There we go. How you doing? So in terms of how that's been tracking, we actually had a huge drop yesterday. Like yesterday we got up to 86.5. We dropped 2 grand. We're down to 84,800, and we've only got 7 sales, so it's pretty frustrating. So I need to do some listings as well. I haven't finished all my listings for the morning because it's 7:13 in the morning. I dropped Carla off and I've only done about 10 listings. So I might spend a little time and just get that done now, get that out of the way. It is going to be a warm one today. It's going to be about 32, so it's warming up. Starting off with a St. Elliot iced coffee as well. Oh, just spilling it all over me. And yeah, let's get to work. Let's do some stuff. I'm going to do the listings and we charge on. All right, folks, listings is all done. I'm going to spend a little bit of time of just getting some of this done just so it's out of the way, just because it's in the way. Get that done, then we'll start to progress up this way, and yeah, work on electronics and work on, I really want to test those VCRs. I might not test the VCRs till tomorrow, and maybe we should just focus on getting this stuff done. But I'm going to do that first just so we've got the space back, because next week we're going to need as much space as possible. I also need to process all these boxes. Some of these I will probably keep, just for sorting things and bits and bobs. The rest of them I'm probably just gonna, I'm not gonna get rid of them, I'm just gonna basically flat them, and I'll chuck them over there, and that way if I do need to use them down the track we can. So yeah, let's get cracking. These shoes have come from a variety of different sources. We've got some here that pretty much have come, well, these are like brand new actually. These ones, and those ones are all pretty top notch. These ones are pretty good too. The others have come from a few. That one's going to need a good clean. These ones are a little rough and tough, but we're going to get into that. In terms of how I actually process shoes, I haven't done it for a while. I usually try and wait till I've got a fair few, but at least these ones, they're just going to be, you know, take photos, all that jazz, like front, back, left, down, right. These ones are going to need a bit of a scrub and clean down, like that's pretty gross. And so will these ones, and these ones just need a quick little shine, but they're pretty good. Oh, actually these are new as well. Yeah, so that's what we're going to focus on quickly. That probably shouldn't take too long, and then we'll move on to the next ones. All right, I've just been outside, giving these a quick little scrub down with some water as well. Look, they've come up not too bad. Really just focused on good enough. I mean, I got these also for $1.60, so I'm not really going to spend too much time on them because I can just really just undercut everyone and sell them pretty quick. I have no idea how much these go for. Not a clue. I don't sell a lot of shoes. I'm going to look them up actually. Alright, we've got these are Air Jordans obviously, and it's okay, interesting. $553,558. These exact ones, jeez, looks like the last one's a lot better condition, brand new, went for $100. This colorway is looking to go, there we go, yeah, brand new, they're going for about 119, so we'll probably get 50, 60 bucks maybe. Yeah, they are a size, they're actually a size 10, that would actually fit me. That's alright. No, they're probably a bit too small for me. Alright, I'm going to photo these and be done with them. just spotting out any scuff marks and things like that. Someone will buy these and probably just do them up and either keep them for themselves or sell them, I guess. I have a friend that does a lot of custom work on these. All right, that is done. This is shoe number 72. It's getting hot now. It's getting hot. All right, I'm gonna leave you guys to it, and I'll show you what I get up to next. All right, finished all that. That's all done now. It's getting pretty windy outside, actually. So some good news. So I've got a lot of people asking about the media stuff. So it looks like I'm getting a drop off today of media and e-waste. And that's good because we'll start to get a bit more volume. Ideally, this will be a good example of how much there is. I'm actually going to get this other stuff ready because they're going to take that back. So I'm going to get that sorted, and I've got my meeting with Ethan in about 15 minutes or so as well. So plenty of things happening. It's great. All right, team. It's now 12 o'clock. I've just had a nice, good hour and a bit call with Ethan Reshock. Really good to catch up with your friends, and I mean he's also my accountant, right? But just have a good banter. We haven't caught up for probably a good few months. It's been a while. I mean we chat banter, but not a proper voice call. So done that. I'm gonna actually just nick out and grab some lunch. Now there has been some requests from some of you watching the live streams about can we get some more food videos or me eating food. So I'm gonna get some food, I'll bring it back here and we'll have a bit of a bonding experience. And then I still got to do the postage, which I'll do this after lunch. I've got my walkie stacker guy rocking up after lunch, and it looks like I'm still getting the delivery for this media stuff as well. So lots of things. I'm gonna go grab some lunch and come back here. All right, we are back, and I have some lemongrass chicken and rice, which actually been craving this. Actually, we used to get this at another place down near the storage units, so I figured I'd give this one a shot. Let me show you what it looks like. There you go. It's good stuff. I'm a keen bean. Probably can't really see. I hope for all you folks that have been really wanting me to show you the food I'm eating, whatever you're into, I won't complain. This is a little bit of a mukbang experience for you. And I also got a mango smoothie as well. So, cheers. I forgot to buy more salmon yesterday. Usually we have salmon rolls. Forgot to get it on the way home, so I figured we'll just eat out today. It's just around the corner anyway. All right, so after this, just gonna finish getting those media boxes ready to be picked up, the ones that are going back. And then we'll do a pick, pack and post. And then we'll get into any more listings, photos and stuff. Good stuff. And again, I just want to say a big thank you to everyone that's been commenting. If you're new here to the channel, it really does mean the world to me. Hopefully, actually, I got a really nice comment. I think it was from Tony also, that telling me that there's probably a lot more people here now that aren't actually resellers, and don't do reselling. And actually, that's really who I want to speak to more, because as much as my roots are reselling, I'm trying to build something bigger than that. Really a last-standing business that provides value to my vendors or to my third-party customers, and to the customers that are the consumers of our products. And I want to inspire and motivate other people to pursue their passions, their dreams, their goals, and whatever those ambitions may look like. If it's building a business or creating an app or whatever it may be. And this is my way to do that, because each day is going to look a little bit different. It's sometimes really easy, really tough, but I wouldn't change it for the world.
you know, I wish I started this a lot earlier, but at the same time, I wouldn't have been able to do what I do now if I hadn't done what I did before. So don't always have those thoughts that, oh, you wish you did it earlier, because you might not have been at the capable level to be able to do it. Sometimes we just have to go through our journey in order to thrive. And everyone's journey is going to look a little bit different. You'll have good days, bad days, good years, bad years as well. As long as you're moving forward. I was chatting to Ethan about when you're backed into a wall, you can either choose to give up, surrender, or you can find a way to get yourself out of it. That's what we're going to keep doing, and build something that's going to change, hopefully change the playing field. Appreciate you. Hope you enjoyed the food munching. I'm going to have some downtime, then we'll get back to it.
All right, all the boxes have kind of separated out. I've actually been using the boxes to finish sorting the media, which has now been done. These are now in their respective boxes that need to go out. So I've just put all like the videos in here, and all the stuff that we're not taking goes back into here. Just getting that ready to be picked up. Let's hope they come. Managed to find a few more extras in here. So full transparency on all the media stuff. So I've got quite a lot of you reaching out. Some of you, I'll be frank, if you're just wanting small amounts, it's not going to work. I need to move as much of it as possible, as quickly as possible. So some of that might, once I know the total volume that I'm getting, I'll be able to work out who's getting what and how much. But I've got people that want, 100 at a time. I've got people that want 1,500 at a time. So trying to make it viable for as many people as possible. But please make sure you understand that none of this is personal, it's pure business and efficiency approach. All right, I'm gonna do some packing. I just pulled out all the items, not much, but a few things in here. And we've got all the Pokemon stuff from the other week and last night's live stream. I also sold this, which is pretty cool, about 42 bucks, and a little bit of gel. All right, let's pack it all up. been making a little bit of room of some stuff. Figured, why not, hey? It's probably more of a distraction, but I have a feeling that I'm going to be getting a desk. If it's not arriving this week, it's going to be early next week, so I'm just planning ahead. Because I'm getting a bunch that have been donated to me. So I just had to make sure I'm starting on that, because that's the excess of it. I might shuffle a bit more things as well. The other thing that I need to do is, so all this stuff that I went through, I need to just provide my feedback. There's one thing in, there's a box of defects. I always provide it back to my supplier. Oh, excuse me. I always provide a bit of feedback back to my supplier, just so they know, you know, what was good, what was bad, help them, because if I can help them, it helps me, so it's all a win-win. So I've got to do that as well. So postage is done, just doing a little bit of cleanup of some things, and then we'll process a few more things. All right, change of plans, just true fashion. So media isn't coming today, it's coming tomorrow, that's fine. Just call me, just change of plans, things pop up. The driver's got an emergency with a kid or something, which again, always, that's life. I don't really care when it comes, as long as it's coming. So that gives me a little bit of free time. I don't have to shuffle anything else, so I'm gonna put this back in here. And it actually works out well, because I get my scale arriving tomorrow, which is gonna help me with the weight of it all, because we have to weigh everything as well. So that's all good. I'm gonna go do this and then get into some other stuff. Okie dokie, I'm back to doing some more laptops, just trying to make space on my workstation. Oh, I feel it. I'm feeling it. So I've got a couple more laptops in box actually that I'm gonna go through and just get them sorted. Those I might actually be able to sell as working. Just was cleaning out some dusty stuff, and geez. So I'm going to do that. What I keep doing, and I realize it's my own fault, is there's been things that I keep putting off, so I move them across, whereas I'm just going to get them done so they can go over onto the storage, into the shelving, and we will proceed from there. So I'm going to do a couple more laptops, to make the bench space, and then I can actually, get working on here as well. I've still got to clean that side, but I really want to be able to test out some things, and get a workflow of what's happening. I've just been putting it off because I just got to push through it. And this is one of the things that I think we are our own worst enemies when it comes to us achieving the success that we're capable of achieving. It's because we get distracted, it's too hard to do, we can't be bothered, we procrastinate. It's not that you're lazy, it's just that there's a friction there, and you don't want to confront the friction. When you can remove the friction, you can do so much more. But in order to remove the friction, you usually got to do work. So just gonna knuckle down and get this done. All right, we've got all the keyboards, all the laptops done, making a bit of space. I'm just gonna quickly continue to clean all this up, and I might get stuff ready for tomorrow. Of more of the electronics. Just trying to, keep the momentum, keep things moving, and then hopefully tomorrow we'll be kind of figuring out a bit of a layout for all of this. It's a work in progress, that's for sure. Okay, so still continuing to fill out everything that I need to put on my notepad in terms of stuff that I need. Just really sorting cables. I mean, all of this still needs to be labeled. I really want to get like a pegboard that's going to go at the back of this so we can just grab, but also having, these kind of things on the shelves on the bench is going to be super important as well, because ideally this bench is going to be probably where we test the phones, because we've got heaps of space, we can test it all in here, but also doing the laptops and testing the laptops, and because it's just a big workbench. This one is more likely going to be where we test video games and VCRs and things like that, because it's going to have the screens on it, but also we can photo there as well. So it's kind of like testing and processing and cleaning and all those things, but being able to photo it at the same time. Same thing here. This is for like stuff that requires screens, audio, visuals, all those kind of things, but also be able to test and photo here. And then this, like this morning, is more so for non-testing, but just photos straight up, and enough space to do backlogs and things like that as well. So that's super important. And then having the ability to be able to have things plug and play, but also amounting to this, the ability to be able to pull out the right type of cable. All the cables need to be labeled, all the chargers need to be labeled. There's a little bit of a mountain to climb with this kind of stuff, but it just needs to be easy. And that's the way I look at it. And it's a really good, I've spoken about it before. Tim Ferriss talks about, if this stuff was easy, how would it look? And it's going to take a little bit of hard work to get it to that, but then if it's easy, we can channel through it very, 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 very quickly. So that's the intent there. I've got a whole bunch of video game stuff down there as well that I want to test sooner than later to get that ASP happening. And in this one, I think this is all, I actually can't remember what this is. I think this is all video games. Yep, all that. So lots there to do. Slowly but surely. Carla left work early. It's actually pretty crazy weather out there, so she's left early. I'm going to be picking her up shortly, so I'm just doing a bit more cleanup of things. And I feel like I'm going around in circles just because there's so much going through my head. I'm trying to figure out, what do I actually want to, how do I want it to work? And sometimes I get myself running around like a dog chasing its tail, but this is sometimes the best way for me to think, because I just need to see what I've got working with, different things. It gives me inspiration, gives me motivation, and then eventually things come to me and then I can take action. But it's also at the end of the day, so it's kind of like, don't really feel like I want to commit to start something else. Tomorrow we have a photographer in. For the second half of the day, they'll be focusing on photos for the clothing, and my priority tomorrow will be, continue to get this set up, hopefully process some more electronics, and then I think next week, if we get the media tomorrow, I'll be focusing on that, but that probably won't come till end of day, so that means Monday I'll probably do a little bit of that. I do need to get into this stuff, which hasn't happened yet, and then next Tuesday we have a big deal coming. So Monday and tomorrow I kind of need to prep out this stuff. I need to pick up my racks. I still haven't been able to get them because they're at, when I get home, the post office is closed, and it hasn't gone to my postie's post office. It's gone to a different post office because Australia Post is very frustrating and sending it to different places. So I do need to get those so I can get these and all of those consolidated, and then we'll have some excess racks. And then I want to be able to have the racks out here, because all the clothes that I'm getting on Tuesday are actually coming on hangers as well. So yeah, lots of things to be done. Lots of little things, but they're all good problems. I'm probably going to leave it there, folks. I'm going to wrap it up, and we'll be back here tomorrow doing it again. I will have Carla with me tomorrow. She'll be working from here though, but I need to get her to kind of think about some of the things I want to achieve here. And yeah, slowly but surely, we are making progress. All right. Got any questions? Chuck them down below. I'll see you tomorrow. Ciao. Folks, welcome to Friday. We finally made it. We're here. We've got the boss with me today. She's working from here and keeping me honest. And she'll be looking at the workstation a little bit later to get me some ideas and some inspiration. We just picked up a coffee. Carla grabbed a sandwich. I got a coffee pan. Carla's got a coffee pan too. All the good stuff. Today's plan, I do need to charge this GoPro, it's about to die, so a whole bunch of different things actually need to do, making sure that we're on top of things. But I'm just gonna have some, have my coffee pan, have a coffee, and then we'll get into the day. But a whole bunch of different things, so I probably just need to refresh on my mind of what I'm gonna do first. But we'll get to it shortly, and stick around for the end of the week. All right, folks, bit of a slow start, just getting into the groove because just heads in so many different places. So I'm going to kick off with a whole bunch of this stuff that I've been putting off for so long. I've already started going through it and then being distracted with other stuff. So I'm going to do that for some quick wins. I'm going to then actually list some of that straight away because it's high value and hopefully we can get some sales over the weekend. After I've done that, we do need to do a pick, pack and post. It's been pretty quiet, but hopefully we'll have a few more sales come through. I've got a whole bunch of heat lamps that I'm going to do in bulk. process those, get them quick. We can do them here very easy. And then I've also got, I didn't get to these yesterday, a whole bunch of vintage phones in here that I want to do and process as well. Stuff that I don't have to use this because we're going to be shuffling through that a little bit later today. And then, yeah, we'll see how we go with that. And then at some stage today, I probably need to do another continued sort of all of this. I just need to keep ticking it over because we're running out of space. I didn't get the racks yet. The racks I will have for tomorrow, so I'm going to come here tomorrow. I'm actually catching up with Cameron tomorrow. We're going to go for a thrift, and I'll have the racks. So all of this needs to be cleared out, whether it's today or tomorrow or Monday, because I'll be getting my big deal that comes on Tuesday, and I need to really make sure I've got space for it all here. So it's probably going to go here and a little bit down there. So I do need to make some bit more space for that. And then today, fingers crossed, we'll have all that media start to come through on eBay. So I'll probably even want to start to process some of that. So lots of moving pieces, just trying to get some quick wins done this morning so that this afternoon I've got the ability to get into the other stuff. So, and hopefully I'll be able to kick off selling some of this to all you that have been lining up for it. So yeah, let's get into it. I'm going to put you on charge and I'll get these photos done. The other thing is I was thinking about is moving some of this stuff in here. As I said, I am expected to get some office furniture coming. Well, it's either, I don't think it'll be today, it's probably more likely next week. So I'm just trying to be mindful of that so that I've got the space to be able to process it. And some of this is going to go out onto the pallet racking as well, and really start to clean some of this up. I do want to get kind of an office desk set up, because if I'm going to be doing more listings here, which that's the intention, I do want to be able to have a comfortable setup, and so we can be productive and get things done quickly. So I'm going to get into all this stuff, a bit of Lego, a bit of collectibles, and I'll check in a little bit later. All right, team, I've now done all the heat lamps. I've also done all those other things that I was showing you before. Just had a call from my account manager for this. They're on their way now with the battery pack, so we can get all that set up today as well. And yeah, in the interim, I'm going to do a pick, pack and post just while I wait for them to rock up. And in terms of how we've been tracking it, it's Monday and Tuesday were really, really good. Wednesday was a flop. We did like 330 bucks. Yesterday we did about 700, 800, and then today well, it's only the start of the day, so world is your oyster. We'll see what happens. But I did just have a sale come through then. We're sitting on about 85,300, and we've got 11 orders to send out. Looks like they're all, yeah, single orders. We've got a laptop, we've got a pair of shoes. We did sell a nice little Pendleton shirt, nice plaid. That went for $107, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to start to get all this out now and get packing. All right, so this is what we've got. We've got some Ralph, we've got some jeans, we've got a nice little Woolrich here as well. This went really well. Some Wrangler, Tiger Lily. This sold within a couple of hours of listing it yesterday. Just some women's clothing, and we did have a pair of shoes in here. Got some denim, some Levi's, just all bread and butter stuff. And then I did sell this nice Pendleton over here, which is a hanging piece. This is the one that went for 107, I think I said it was. Yeah, find these. They're definitely well worth it. Let's pack it all up. All right, team, just got the charger. Thank you, sir, to my account manager. That's all sorted now. As I said, I think I said before, postage is all done now, so that's good. Next order of business is the guys that are coming for the e-waste and the DVDs and media. That's not probably going to happen until end of day at this rate. So that's that. So which means I probably won't be able to do that. So I'm thinking I'm actually going to try and get into, I need to sneeze, hang on. Get into some of the VCRs and all that kind of stuff and just at least get them out so they're there, so I know that I can start to process them. As I was saying a bit earlier, I've got to actually get all this prepped, this space, because we're going to have lots of clothing arriving next week, but they're all going to be coming on coat hangers as well. So I will probably just do a little bit of a shuffle. I was also going to bring across some stuff and put it in here too. Again, just really trying to maximize floor space at this point. I need to figure out all these box situations. The reason why I haven't moved them is because I don't necessarily have a location to put them, and I was starting to pack them up yesterday, but then I realized actually they're really good for sorting the media stuff. So I figured, because I got media coming today as well, it kind of makes sense to, yeah, two birds, one stone. So just really trying to focus on, yeah, getting things done that help me get ahead in terms of domino effects. Like the stuff that I was doing here, I was moving it out of the way originally, when all I had to do was just photo it, get it listed, and then we can put it away. So doing more of that. There is a whole bunch of clothes here that actually I could probably sort. Actually, maybe I'll do that right now. Sort all these clothes, and that way I can move them out of the way and clear up some more space and get a free pallet bag. That's what I'm going to do. All right, have sorted all of the clothes. We made pretty much 2 bags of rags, which is all good because it all goes part of a recycling process, which we go by weight to see, you know, what is the impact we're making. That's for the service that I'm working with. Here's a bunch that will be able to be sold. This is either for donation or for to be sold. So I'm just going to sort that now quickly, and the rest was all just linen, like towels and stuff, which some of this is really good as well because, well, can use for rags around here or whatever. But the other thing is you'll end up going to like animal shelters, which actually they leverage it for, yeah, for the puppies or the cats or whatever. So again, trying to increase our impact footprint of better impact. So yeah, this is almost done, so that's now empty. And now that that's done, I can move this. I'm actually probably gonna take that and put a few other bits and bobs on it, and get it out of the way, and then I'm gonna move this one as well. So making progress. Alright folks, always something. Good learning experience. So the problem with this is my straddles on the walkie are slightly too narrow. So I need to get them widened so that I can come in straight here and not hit this beam down here, which is a little frustrating, but it is what it is. So, I mean, we haven't tested doing side by side, so that's, some of it is to do with the size of the pallets, but can't really get much smaller, so I think it's just a matter of getting that adjusted. But for now I've gone one here and one here. That way they're just, at least they're off the ground and out of the way, and gives me a lot more space to wiggle down here. So that's the intention for now. Anyway, I'm gonna have some lunch and then get back to it. Folks, just spent the last good hour here with Carla, problem solving. Helping me figure out what we need to do for the workbenches. So got a bit of a plan of the things and tools and just ways to organize things and compartment management of what we need to be able to do that productively, I guess, or effectively. So just been doing that. I've got my media and e-waste drop off coming at around 4:15 apparently, so that's happening as well. We've got a lot of more space here. This is all good. Yeah, making progress. All right, just had the drop off of the media. So this is one bin full of just stuff to be sorted. So I've got to go through all that. And then this one is the stuff that we've already done. And then we've just chucked it into this one now that I've got the empty bin. So I'll be processing, and then I got another whole bunch of boxes as well. So this is cool. Interesting indeed. A lot of just random stuff at the top there, but I've got to dig deep. So a little bit of a process, but now that I've got it, I can figure out what that process is. All right, so that was yeah, a success. Finally got the delivery. Had to unload their van with the walkie stacker to get the tubs, the bins. So that's a good new test of an experience. I started to do some of the pallet racking here, and I'm basically going to be putting some boards along here, and I'm going to be putting all the excess stock that I've got in there just to get it out of the office. So starting to work on that. I've got all the racks now at home. I'm going to bring them here tomorrow. I can start doing that. Carla was helping process some of this as well. We also spent a good, as I said earlier, about an hour doing all the planning in here. So now I'm just going to buy a few things and get this all sorted for next week. Other than that, yeah, bit of a slow planning kind of day, but I'm happy that we're making some progress. We've got a bunch of listings done as well. Photographer came, did half a day as well. But yeah, I must say the start of the week, really solid start of the week. It's been a pretty dry grind kind of the end of the week in terms of, you know, sales are down. Haven't felt like I've made a lot of progress, but all the stuff that we do today is helping us get ahead in the future. So it's all just the things that are just annoying to get done, but once you get them done, it enables everything else. So trying not to be too hard on myself. I'll probably be back here tomorrow, so I'll do my recap tomorrow. I've got to go now. We're going to go pick up a few things and then head on home and start the weekend. But I'm going for a thrift tomorrow with Cami, so you guys will have a video of us thrifting next week. So anyway, I'll chat to you soon. Folks, welcome to Saturday. Bit of an extra one for you today. I'm just here in the warehouse, just had the racks finally are here, so I'm going to set them up today, just get that done and dusted. I also got back from a thrift with Cameron. We did pick up a few goodies, nothing crazy, but some nice little ones there. So I'll take you, well, I won't take you through that now, but I'm going to go through it so you can see it in the video. You'll see that next week. And yeah, I'm going to set up these racks just so we can get ahead, because I do have that big deal coming on Tuesday. So yeah, I'm going to spend a little bit of time doing that. Probably won't see too much, but then I'm going to give you a recap of the week. Sales have still been pretty slow. There was actually a point that came through, and I think it's actually a really valid point, which I think sometimes maybe we forget. And it, you know, does keep me honest as well, which was, it was. Give me a second. All right. It's come from Mike saying, you know, called off some of the drop off of your 90-day total, maybe not totally related to the move as you mentioned, but do I think it could have been from some big sales days lead up to holiday Christmas season back in early mid-December? 100%. So in January, we did our best month. In January, we did $37,000. We're averaging up to about 30,000 for this month. So we are about a 7,000 drop, which does explain the situation as well. However, if we look back into December, you know, we were doing just under that as well. And we probably did have a couple of days there where we did 2,000 or 3,000. So, you know, that would be a big part to play of it too. So all in all though, I will share this. I don't think I've got it in front of me because I haven't got all the details uploaded. So I'll have to show it to you. But when I looked on Friday, and by the time you get this video, I'll have a better better screenshot of it, how much percentage we've grown in the last 90 days. We're probably sitting at about 2%. And I think by the end of this week, yeah, we should have grown 2% for the last 90-day cycle. I track on a 90-day cycle process. Since we've been starting, we've averaged 18%, every 90 days, we have grown 18% on average for the last 5 years. So I think it's really not that bad, but still, it keeps me honest and it keeps me pushing forward because I want to continue to grow. So it keeps me honest, it makes me work harder, and it makes me get the results that I want to see. So that's that. I'm going to make these racks, get these done and dusted, and then get out of here, go home, have some rest, and we'll be back here again. So I'll show you what these racks look like. Bam. All right, so we got all 5 racks done. The plan for these is we're going to replace this one, and this one. So those 3 racks will go into those 5. There'll probably be a little bit left over, and then we've also got to put that one that's already been done onto there. So we've got a bit more shuffle, and then the ones which are over there, which aren't the same size, they will come over here. I'm probably still going to get a few more racks. I'd rather have more than not enough. And the idea is that, you know, stuff that we get over there, but there's a lot of clothes that I get next week which actually comes on, they'll come on hangers. So having that extra rack space will be great. I've also got a big bag of jackets that I need to start hanging out. So I'm probably actually still going to invest in a few more, racks. Probably get another 5, another double. I've actually just been thinking, it might not make sense to actually put that stuff here yet. You know how I've got I was going to put some shelving here. I'm actually thinking maybe that shelving will go here, just on this level here. just so it is actually at this height. It is still a little bit inconvenient, but I'm thinking maybe short term, maybe it just makes sense to keep the racks in here as we get our flow happening. I do have obviously all the space for racks down here as well, but I do want to keep kind of the floor space as clear as possible. So still a few things that we've got to get right in here, and I guess that's going to be the big lesson for this week, which we'll talk about at the end. But like, there's always problems. There's always problems and things to be fixing and other things to be done. And the challenge that I struggle with is there's a difference between doing work that you need to do to keep the business running. Then there's work that you're going to do to help the business grow. And then there's problems to fix, which sometimes we create our own problems. And sometimes it's not important to solve those problems now. Sometimes we don't need to create those things to occur to then make problems that need to happen at this point in time. Some of this stuff does not need to happen now, but for me, it helps me just be able to focus because it's not in my head. Some of this stuff we could have parked. Like, we could have parked doing this pallet racking. We could have touched it in 6 months. But for me, the idea is if I do it now, I don't have to think about it in 6 months, and I'm not thinking about it for 6 months. And it also means when opportunities come over the next 6 months, I can say yes. And that's the same for having some of these other things enabled and equipped and ready to go, is because it does enable me to say yes. It does enable me to say, yes, we can process that. We have the ability to do that. We can do that. Yes, drop it off, no problem. We can store it here. Whereas in the past, I had to kind of like figure out how to do that. I had to shuffle things. I had to say no, or I had to delay it. Now we can actually keep things moving. My biggest challenge now is getting the momentum happening again. We're already still got the momentum of doing the volume that I want to do in terms of covering bills and all those expenses. Of course, I want to keep growing, but now we need to ramp up again. And all these things I'm putting into place enable us to help that machine that I spoke about last week really come into full shine, I guess is the right word. But I'm nowhere near where I want the vision to be. We still have a long way to go. Anyway, that's it from me. I'm going to pack it up. I want to go home, do some rest. We've got another big week next week. This just helps me get ahead for Monday morning. When I'm in early, I'll be able to start working on that. It just saves me about 30 minutes to next week. So all done and dusted. I'll just quickly shuffle a few things, then I'm going to jump in the car and I'm going to take you through all the lessons, all the thoughts and everything that's going in my head for this week. All right, team, that's a week. That is the wrap. And you know, there's quite a few things on my head. I just reflecting on the week. We started the week with some really good highs, making some progress, getting some wins, all these different things. And as the week's progressed, I do find myself every time reflecting and thinking, what have I actually achieved this week? And look, I was kind of leaning to this before, like sometimes we are our own worst enemies. We create chaos that does not need to be created. We continue to raise the bar for us to meet, and then we get disappointed when we're not hitting that bar, when really we're actually achieving some really great things. Now, I'm speaking to myself here, not to toot my own horn, but I should not be in any case or in any reason think that what we're doing is not good enough. We are doing amazing. We've got amazing results. We're getting consistent results, and we're seeing the business continually grow. But because I see that and we hit that and we're doing that, it's like, well, I know we can do more. And for me, the frustration is at myself of realizing, how do I break through me at this level? And I'm not even talking about the warehouse, I'm just talking about volumes and things like that, to be able to make the next level become normal, become easy, become just the day on day. And my encouragement around all this is, whether you're building a business which is as big as a dream or an ambition of my own, or maybe you just want to be able to make a certain amount of money, or maybe you just, whatever it is that you're doing, you have to remember that it takes time, you have to be willing to commit, and you also need to give it time to actually work. For me, my biggest weakness is go, 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 and not let things sink in. I mean, for me, as soon as I see any indicator that says, yep, we're good to go, like things are working,
I double down, or I push harder, or I take on more. And it's definitely something which I'm learning. If I'm taking on more, I need to make sure I know how I'm solving for it. But at the same time, I love to take on more. I love to create more problems. I love to create this chaos because it forces me to have to solve the problem to achieve the result. When you give yourself these constraints, it forces you to get outside of your normal thinking because you don't have the luxury of time, or you're not going to be lazy with the time that you have because you need to make a decision, quickly. And that's really my reflection of the week. As much as I've felt like I've had a lot of friction points this week and things not happening as quick as I want, similar to last week, we're actually still making the progress that I need to see. And I think the reason why I then don't appreciate the work I'm doing, even though I do appreciate it, but I mean like in the moment, is because I'm not seeing the results speaking the same or singing the same song of the work I'm putting in. That's going to take a little bit more time to catch up. And I'm talking to myself in the future here is you really just need to start doing some more work. All right. So that I'm not doing work. It's like I need to do more of that work. Now, this isn't to say to myself that I need to be, busting my balls and, working so hard that I get burnt out. No. It's like, where do I put my time? Where do I put my effort? How do I get some of the stuff that I shouldn't be doing getting done by someone else? All those different things. So I've still got a little bit of planning that I need to do for myself. I need to continue to do figure out what that's going to look like. How do we do that? I mean, we're still not even operating at full capacity, but there's definitely some big changes that I need to make to myself in order for the business to continue to thrive and grow. So interesting times, great week all round. I mean, can't really complain. I'm quickly just going to talk about the code word. There's been a lot of you that have been really putting in some amazing effort to get the code word happening. The code word is just a way to get you to have a bit more interaction, but I do give away a weekly $20 gift card. Not everyone has reached out for that. If you do win, you need to reach out to me via Instagram or via my email. My email is in my About Me section. You can send me an email, proof that you are the winner, and then I'll send you a $20 gift card. If you don't do that, I'm not going to go out of my way to make that happen because I don't even have everyone's contact details. But the winner, I'm going to put up on screen. Congratulations. Thank you for being here and leaving the comment. This week's code word is going to be, the code word for this week is LANE. L-A-N-E. I'll put it up on screen. Put that in the comments for next week for your chance to win a random $20 gift card. All right, we're going to jump in over to the financials. The financials for this week has been poopy, absolutely poopy. Well, at the time of me looking, I think we're only on about 4,000, 4,500. We probably should get to 5,000, but pretty low week. We started off strong, dropped completely down. So really just trying to put some more high value stuff into the store. We are still on track to do about 30,000 for the month though. So P&L wise, we're still looking to land in the negative, which I'm okay about because the way I keep looking at it is we were negative 10 grand last month. If we're negative again this month, but then we're positive going forward, well then it's all going to even out in the long run. But still, it stresses me out, it freaks me out, it makes me nervous, it makes me sweat, it makes me think. I'm not losing sleep over it though. It's all part of a bigger cause, but yay, it keeps me honest, that's for sure. Anyway, that's the financials. If you enjoyed this, make sure you do hit subscribe. Leave a comment down below. We'll be back here again next week. If you did have any questions, chuck them down. I'll do my best to include them in next week's video. And we continue to charge on, and we are about to finish the first quarter of 2025. Hope you're doing well, and I'll see you on the flip side. Ciao!